Shanti, good morning. Let us revise Baptada's with Murli of 27th November 1985. The title of the Murli is The Way to Forget the Old World and the Old Sanskars. The Way to Forget the Old World and the Old Sanskars. Purana Sansar or Purane Sanskar. Baba says, Baptada is seeing the form of the practical lives of faith of the children whose intellects have faith. All of you have heard about the specialities of children whose intellects have faith. Such victorious jewels who are full of specialities and whose intellects have faith would always be examples of faith in this Brahmin life and in this most auspicious confluence aged life. They would have this intoxication. Spiritual intoxication is the mirror of faith. Spiritual intoxication is the mirror of faith. Faith in the form of awareness isn't just in the intellect, but it will be experienced in every act in the form of spiritual intoxication. You will experience it in your practical form, and others too will experience it because this is a Jnani and Yogi life. It is not just for listening and speaking, but for creating your life. It is not just for listening and speaking, but for creating your life. Baba says the more faith we have, the more there will be spiritual intoxication. Spiritual intoxication is the mirror of faith. Baba says awareness, thoughts, words, deeds, and relationships are all included in life. For your intellect to have faith means to have a life of intoxication. Every thought of a soul who has such spiritual intoxication would be filled with intoxication. The intoxication of faith would be experienced in all three: your thoughts, words, and actions. The intoxication of faith would be experienced in all three: your thoughts, words, and actions. As is your intoxication, so would the sparkle of happiness be revealed on your face and in your behavior. The proof of faith is intoxication, and the proof of intoxication is happiness. The proof of faith is intoxication, and the proof of intoxication is happiness. There is a huge range of different types of intoxication. However, in essence, the first type of intoxication is of the bodiless, soul-conscious form. Do you know the detail of this? All are souls, but spiritual intoxication is experienced when you are aware of what type of soul you are. Go into the detail of this amongst yourselves and churn it by yourself. Baba says we are souls, but what type of souls we are? The more we realize this, that we are the ones who are direct children of God. We are the ones who are at the roots of this human world tree. We are the ones closest to Baba. When we realize this, then there is spiritual intoxication that emerges. So that's the first spiritual intoxication, Baba says, is of the bodiless and soul conscious form. The second form of intoxication is of the alokik, confluence aged life. In this life, too, think about the details of the kind of life you have. So, first is the intoxication of the soul conscious form. Second is the intoxication of your alokik life. So, this confluence aged life, life of belonging to Baba, is this second intoxication. Third is the intoxication of the angelic stage. Also go into the detail of who you would call an angel. Fourth is the intoxication of the future. Baba says there are four intoxications. First is the bodiless, soul conscious form. Second is the alokik, confluence aged form. Third is the angelic form. And the fourth is of the future. It is the golden age. Out of these four types of alokik intoxication, even if you have one type of intoxication in your life, you will automatically continue to dance in happiness. Mhm. Mhm. If you have faith but don't have happiness, what is the reason for that? If you have faith but don't have happiness, what is the reason for that? It is because you don't have that intoxication. Intoxication makes you easily forget the old world and old sanskars. In this effort making life, it is these two that specially become obstacles. Either the old world, that is sansar, or old sanskars. Both bodily relations and positions of the body are included in the world. Along with that, even more than the world, it is the old sanskars that become a greater problem. The world can be forgotten, but sanskars cannot be forgotten. So the method you have to use to transform sanskars is to have one of the four types of intoxication in a practical form, not just in thought form. Mhm. By your having this intoxication in a practical way, they, that is sanskars, will never become an obstacle. This is the reason why your sanskars have still not changed, because you have imbibed this intoxication in thought form, that is, in your intellects, in the form of knowledge, and anyone's old sanskars emerge at any time. You use the language, I understand everything when any old sanskars emerge. You even understand that you have to change. But it doesn't just have to be up to the level of understanding. It has to be in actions. That is, it has to be in your practical lives. Mhm. It has to be in your practical lives. Transformation has to be experienced in life. This is called making it practical. Called making it practical. At present, it is just in the intellect, in the form of points, just in terms of thinking and speaking about it. However, when transformation is visible in your every act and relationship, it is called having alokik intoxication in a practical way. So I will say it's not just about understanding or speaking about it, but it is to experience it in a practical way. Now, put every type of intoxication into your life. Let anyone who looks at your forehead experience an attitude of spiritual intoxication from your forehead. Whether anyone speaks or not, it is the attitude that spreads into the atmosphere and in the vibrations. Let your attitude make others feel vibrations of happiness in an atmosphere of happiness. This is called being stable in intoxication. This is called being stable in intoxication. In the same way, let spiritual intoxication be experienced in the corporeal form through your drishti, through the smile on your lips, and through your words. Only then would you be called a victorious jewel whose intellect has faith and who stays in intoxication. Baba says our face, our eyes, our everything, drishti should be filled with intoxication. Baba says only then would you be called a victorious jewel whose intellect has faith and who stays in intoxication. You mustn't remain incognito in this. Some become clever in this and say that they are remaining incognito. There is a saying that no one can ever hide the sun, that no matter how thick the clouds may be, the sun will still give its light. Does the sun move or do the clouds move? Clouds come and go, but the sun remains stable in its form of light. Similarly, those who have this spiritual intoxication cannot hide their spiritual sparkle. The sparkle of their spiritual intoxication is definitely experienced in a visible form. Their vibrations automatically attract others. The vibrations of those who stay in spiritual intoxication work like a canopy of protection for themselves and for others. So, what do you have to do now? Put this into practice. Put this into practice. In terms of knowledge, you have become knowledgeful. However, by putting knowledge into your practical life, you will experience yourself to be successful and blissful, as well as knowledgeful. This is by putting knowledge into your practical life, you will experience yourself to be successful and blissful, as well as knowledgeful. Baba will tell you at some other time what the form of someone who is successful and blissful is. Today, Baba is telling you about spiritual intoxication. Let everyone experience this intoxication. You can use any of these 4 types of intoxication in different ways. Again, the 4 types of intoxication. The first is the soul conscious, bodiless form. The second is the alokik confluence aged life. The third is the angelic stage. And fourth is the future golden aged form. Baba says the more you use this intoxication in your practical life, the more you will accordingly remain constantly free from worry and become a carefree emperor. When everyone will see you in the form of a carefree emperor. So now go into the detail of this and put it into practice. By saying go into the detail of this and put it into practice. Where there is happiness, Maya cannot play her tricks. Maya cannot enter the empire of someone who is a carefree emperor. She comes and you then chase her away, and she comes again and you chase her away again. Sometimes Maya comes in the form of a body, sometimes in the form of bodily relations. This is referred to as Maya sometimes coming as an elephant, sometimes as a cat, and sometimes as a mouse. Maya says sometimes as an elephant, sometimes as a cat, and sometimes as a mouse. Different ways in which Maya comes. Sometimes you chase the mouse away, and sometimes you chase the cat away. Your time is spent just chasing her away. Therefore, always stay in spiritual intoxication. First of all, reveal yourself, and you will then reveal the Father. Because the Father is to be revealed through you. Because the Father has to be revealed through you. Acha. To those who reveal the Almighty authority through themselves. To those who reveal the speciality of spiritual intoxication in the mirror of their practical life. To those who always become carefree emperors and bid farewell to Maya. To those who always put knowledge into a practical form. To such children whose intellects have faith and who maintain their intoxication. To those who always swing in the swing of happiness. To such elevated and special souls, Baptada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Spiritual father says namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say namaste to the spiritual father. Let's take a moment and go within and absorb Baba's virgins. Baba is inspiring us to have spiritual intoxication. The proof of having faith in Baba is that I, the soul, will be dancing constantly in spiritual intoxication. The intoxication of who I am, a bodiless being, the realization that I am that one who is the closest to the seed, Shiv Baba. The intoxication that Baba has given me, this alokik confluence aged life, a life of complete belonging to Baba, of living practically my life with Baba. Then Baba makes me into an angel, the one who is free from all the relationships in the physical dimension, the one who is completely in love with the one. The intoxication of the future deity, the one who is the perfection personified. And the spiritual intoxication, I experience it in my practical life. And this allows me to be happy constantly, to be a carefree emperor, to be beyond any worry, to bid farewell to Maya, to old world, the old sansar, and the old sanskars. Like I stay in this spiritual intoxication. So along with being knowledgeful, I become successful and blissful. My practical life itself carries these vibrations of spiritual intoxication. And through this, I become an instrument to reveal Baba in the world. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, family. Let us pause here and we will continue the rest of the Murli tomorrow. Maybe if anyone would like to share any points that we'll take today, please feel free. Shanti.
Om Shanti Swarupa.
Om Shanti, Kirija.
You know, we have just come out of the Murli, which was just read a couple of days back about faith in the intellect. And it was such a mind thing where, like they say, faith sees the invisible, believes in the incredible, and achieves the impossible. Faith can move mountains, but it makes us unshakable, immovable. So I always thought that was the ultimate, having faith in the intellect. And as I had shared, it was nischay. It was such a emphasizing word when you read it in Hindi. And I thought that to be the ultimate. I should just have that one thing in me, and that's faith. But at the end, it gave us a question. I have so much faith, and that's where we left the class yesterday to, to continue it today. I have so much faith, but still, why I am not powerful? Why I'm still battling in remembrance, why I'm a warrior, why I'm not able to stay in that, that what Baba has mentioned today, what we call it as nasha. Why? So again, there when Baba had given a small thing, he said, you know, you accept, but you don't live. So today, when Baba has said what you need is not just faith, but you must have, people should see you in a mirror of that faith. And the mirror is intoxication. And I was, for me, for us, intoxication is what when we have alcohol. You see, the world is such a big thing, nothing exists. We see we just dance, we feel so light. So that's what we generally use the word intoxication. But see, spiritual intoxication, when Baba gave these four forms over here, I was just trying to choose which one. I didn't know what did Baba mean by how in my angelic stage will the world see me in a spiritual intoxication. I mean, one of the thing, how my soul consciousness will the world see me spiritually intoxicated. Then so I just wanted a little bit of more about these practicality of these four which Baba has mentioned, these four kinds of intoxication. So if you could just show how soul consciousness or being in an angelic form really can, how can it be a mirror of my faith in the intellect? If a little more sparkle you could give on these four kinds of intoxication, then I think maybe my intoxication may be ignited. Om Shanti.
Mhm. Yeah, I think Baba did give us a homework to discuss in detail. And yeah, I do feel that it's, we've all understood the Gyan, we know who we are, and, theoretically we understand. Um, but I feel intoxication really comes, and just this is from my experience when, like, in my practical life, I use Baba's Gyan in some way, and then that is where when there are more experiences, and then there is this intoxication or nasha. So from nischay, it translates into nasha. It's like just like in the example that you gave, someone who, in terms of physical, just drinks alcohol or something, then when they start, they reach a point, and after that point, it becomes like an intoxication. I feel here also, of course, understanding knowledge is one thing, but the more I use, like the first one Baba said, like the bodiless, soul conscious form, the more I realize this, that I am this, eternal being, and I am the closest to Baba, and I am an actor in this play, and now I'm returning home with Baba. And just this, I feel this realization starts then, once I realize, then it's easy for me to experience it as I'm, performing my actions. So I feel like from awareness to then when this realization comes, then I'm able to actually go to the next step of intoxication. In the same way, the second, Baba said, the confluence aged life. We understand we are in the confluence age, but the more I realize that, I'm really living with Baba at every moment. Baba is looking at me, I'm looking at Baba. It's like the more I feel, make it personal. I believe that's where this realization comes in, and and then slowly this intoxication arises. And the third Baba said, angelic stage. The angel, definitely, the one who really doesn't have any. kind of relationships with the physical world, the one who's constantly detached, and the one who is then constantly loving also. So again, when I realized this deeply, and then the fourth, of course, the deity is the one who constantly gives, Data, Devta, and the one who is like a personal embodiment of the divine qualities of the soul. And so again, for me, I feel like the more I make the transition from just being aware of it, like that is the knowledge, to actually realizing it, um, uh, then I begin to experience that intoxication of it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I still couldn't get Saurabh by the underlying thing. See, Baba says this spiritual intoxication serves as a canopy of protection for yourself and for others. If you speak of
Mm,
soul consciousness, yes, I agree. Because that old world, see how well Baba defined old world. See, we know it is body, bodily relations, bodily possessions. But Baba left that body form. He said, old world means bodily relations and bodily possessions. Fine. When I'm in a soul conscious form, I may, that particular old world, I can forget. But I've still not understood about that old samskar. Secondly, future intoxication, it will be a self intoxication for me. Can I go and tell somebody to whom I have to reveal the Father, come here, if you take the Gyan for 21 births, you will be in Satyug, the world will be like this. I don't think intoxication, see, through my attitude, I can give. But talking about a future, they always say, no, attitude has got its own altitudes. Fine. But how can I go and tell them through this, the fourth intoxication, that to reveal the Father? How can that be put in practice? Soul conscious, I agree, as you said, being in a soul conscious form. Angelic even, it is something more of self. Alokik life, let me tell you, how many people appreciate our alokik life? There are a few who say, see, Brahma Kumaris, very nice, in white, in pure. They come, they praise, and then they go. Good, 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 they say. But are they intoxicated? The I was just asking you the practicality. Only the first intoxication, I think I don't know. I could get some clarity out of it. That's why I
mm,
asked you. Isn't the other three too much, which Baba is expecting from us to reveal it to the others?
mhm. Yeah, I feel like the four Baba has given, so that at different times we can maybe be in a different intoxication level or stage. So for example, when we are in actions, in karma, when we are talking to people, then it's easy to be also in the deity experience, that just complete pure happiness, pure love. There's just soul to soul communication, being a deity. Sometimes when I'm just by myself, or doing my daily routine also, at that time I just can immerse that I'm a Brahmin, Papa is with me, Papa is feeding me, and Papa is walking with me, like that. Like when I'm in yoga, then I can experience being an angel serving the world through mansa seva. So it's like different kind of parts of the day. So that way, we don't get bored also. And that's why Baba says, even if one is there, even then we can actually forget the old sanskars. Because that's what Baba's main intention was. Like Baba said, otherwise the old sanskars, especially, they come in the way, obstacle. And so, otherwise, if we are not in the intoxication, then the old sanskars will be driving us. Right.
Om Shanti.
Ocean.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Divine Family. And one thought I got that this intoxication is like what we feeding. Intoxication is like what feeding we are giving to us, which leads to happiness. And that happiness, continuous happiness, thus gives the success and all other things. So it is about the feeding ourselves, intoxication. I think so. So that I got. That's I like to share. Om Shanti.
Mm.
Om Shanti. I'm just adding on to this, the four intoxication that Baba highlighted. So being soul conscious or the bodiless form. So here it's about we keeping that awareness all the time that I'm a soul. It could be this way also, and not this body. So this, of course, we know give us that experience, right? When it comes to experiencing that I am beyond this body, we start feeling the detachment from the body, right? And we also start forgetting the role that we are playing on this corporeal world and relations and the position, and we start feeling lightness, right? We kind of go beyond the burden of I and mind, right? That all finishes. And as a result, we start experiencing our inner true qualities or virtues of the soul, right? It could be pure peace, purity, or whatever it may be. So, and when it comes to this practical life, when we practice this, right, the soul consciousness, this actually helps us in the practical life where we don't get really hurt when people insult us. So we know that we are something different than what they really see us, right? And your response to people, your response to the world automatically changes, your emotion changes. Just one thought there that I'm soul, not the body. So the bodiless, that awareness actually bring all this gradually, right? And the confluence age Laukic life, we can also say that, we have the understanding that we are not ordinary, right? Always we maintain that awareness. This life is not ordinary life. We are very special, one out of multi-million, right? So that is also give us that experience, right? Which will give us a very soothing feeling of I am so fortunate. I belong to God, or God is my father. I'm studying from God. All that. So and when it comes to practical life, um, our behavior to the world, our way of looking at people, seeing the people, all that changes, right? And there is no, I mean, no inferiority or that complex that we have. We start seeing the world differently. Internally we'll have that feeling that we are different, right? So we have that feeling always that, oh, my fortune is so great, right? Wow, my fortune, that sort of a feeling when it comes to practical life. And I suppose the angelic life is again angelic stage, the third one. We know angels don't really touch this world, right? Their form is light and they are always beyond, detached from the world, the physical world, right? But yet they are loving, right? When there is any problem, they reaches the place and then give all the sustenance required, right? And there, again, we have the intoxication that we are a messenger of God. We are, taking all the power, everything from God, and bringing God's energy into the world, right? So again, the body and the corporeal bondages are, uh, there we cut off all that gradually. Sense of having a free, feeling that I am separate from the world. That is also another thing. But again, when we experience that angelic form, we don't really, that is again awareness, but we don't really experience any sorrow of the world. We'll stay up above from all that thread of or that botherings of sorrow. We become instrument to give hope and strength in others, right? So our presence and our vibration uplift the world and also make a difference in the world, right? So, and the fourth one, Baba highlighted as the future, golden aged life, as you all mentioned, yes. And that is also an awareness that we keep with us. And when we know that, okay, I'm going to a deity world, right? That also give us a lot of intoxication. That state as the kingdom, right? The new kingdom. So there again, we have the experience of enjoying um, as we think through it, right? So the future is going to be like this. I'm going to become a deity. So that joy, that will reflect, and that gives us a lot of inner joy within us, right? That feeling of royalty, beauty, and everything comes in us, right? So we feel so intoxicated there, right? And we know that that future is already fixed for us. Yeah, and I think when it comes to practical life, we can. Uh, so we know that, yeah, somebody mentioned that we don't beg for anything temporary. You know that your true fortune is really going to be there. So you carry natural respect and royalty. So the more you immerse that royalty comes into your action, right? So gradually your sanskars also affected in the sense it started transforming. Yeah, Om Shanti.
Very nice. Thank you.
Can I just add a sentence to this, Rabbi?
Yes, please.
I don't know. Bijit's voice was breaking towards the end. He really touched all the four when the only, especially when I just wanted to tell him we are talking about our stage of going from the drill from here, so that I feel it's something more a self intoxication. I just wanted to know how can this angelic be a mirror for us. Very recently, I remember 1 year back, I don't remember the center body. She was seen as an angel above the center. It was something sort of an intoxication for the people and all over there. See, such kind of miracles do take place. I do agree there should be intoxication because in yesterday's Murli, when we asked Baba, I have faith, but why I'm not able to get that? Today he has answered, because you're not intoxicated. Soul conscious, perfect. I agree with that. I can really show it even to others. But the practicality it is, I know that there. I think the transformations like, but to really, what I say, strip myself and show them the true form. And I think, I don't know, I feel that's a process for me. It's okay.
Yes, thank you.
Just to add here, so the intoxication, spiritual intoxication, the mirror is the mirror of faith, right? So that's what Baba says. So here, if you take just one point, if especially if you take the point of drama is very important word, right? And if there is faith in this word, drama, then in our practical life, we will remain carefree. Whatever happens, we know it is beneficial for us. So that stage of carefree, right? That should be visible on your face, our face. So that visibility is the intoxication of being carefree, right? Yeah. That's one thing. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Any other thoughts?
Saurabh, waiting for you. How do I bring about intoxication by also giving them the alcohol?
Sorry, Girija, in the last line I didn't get. Can you say that again?
No. How to see Nishchay should lead to Nasha, fine. How do I give that spiritual intoxication to others? Practically, you just give me any practical example
Yeah, I mean, I would just
other than
feel,
soul conscious.
right. You know, I mean, I always feel like dadis are a role model for us. Like the way they would talk, the way they walk, the way everything that they do, everything actually just, there's even a simple line, what they say, but they have so much intoxication of Baba's love, that it just hits the heart. And I feel that's what, that real seva is, just to stay, the more I stay in that intoxication, the more automatically it spreads to others. So, yeah. Like even any class that we listen to, of old class of dadis, just we can feel that intoxication. And they don't have anything else in their life except Baba. So the same way when we have that feeling for Baba, that Baba is my world, Baba is everything for me, then automatically it's like that feeling will get translated. Yeah. Okay, great. Any other final thoughts maybe anyone wants to share?
If
Om
no
Shanti.
other share, then yeah, Kalpesh,
Om
go
Shanti.
ahead.
Yeah, one more thing I got this point that the level of happiness and whatever the level of happiness we has, that shows our intoxication. It reflects our intoxication. That's Baba is, I think, pointing out. You are remaining happy or not? If in a day I remain happy, so I'm an intoxication. So whatever. So that the way is different. Miss angelic form or these are the four ways is given. But it is a checkpoint that I am remain happy or not. If yes, so I am in an intoxication stage. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Yeah. And seeing your happiness, if somebody is coming after you and asking, what is the secret that you always remain happy? Right? So there your intoxication has become a means for other man to get intoxicated or understand the secret behind it. And then when you reveal that, okay, I practice Rajyoga meditation, I do this and this, that keeps me happy and intoxicated. So that the other
Yes.
person will also try that, right? So your face has become a mirror there and did that service. Another way that we can and understand this way also. Yeah, Om Shanti. I think Saurabha, if no other sharings, we can move to meditation, unless you have anything to add.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Maybe we can take a few moments again to go within and awaken that deep memory within of who I am, a spiritual being, a bodiless soul, a resident of the faraway land where I live with Baba and my eternal family of souls. I'm not just aware, but I've realized this truth. I experience it naturally as I play my part in the physical dimension. And so my faith is expressed as spiritual intoxication. And the spiritual intoxication spreads out to all the souls, bringing them closer to Baba and their eternal truth. Om.
Om Shanti. Thank you to Baba. Thank you, Saurabai. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Until then, have a blissful day.